All right, just a disclaimer before you start watching this video. This is going to be a very long video, so if you can't tolerate long videos, I think you should jump off this right now. That's number one. Number two, I'm not in any way shaming Asakes. I love Asakes. Like, I've always been a fan of Asakes from day one, from Manchester days when he was always coming. The O2 Brixton one, I was not in the country then, so I couldn't attend that one, but I've always followed Asakes from day one. What I'm trying to say is I'm going to give a review of what happened yesterday at the O2. Now, it's not in any way undermining his brilliance as an artist, but it's just trying to say I'm sure most people expected better. I'm gonna come to that, the reason why I said that very soon. But again, this is going to be a very long video. So once again, if you cannot tolerate long videos, please jump off right now. Okay, so I've broken the video down into two segments, the cons and the pros. I'm going to start with the cons, then I'll jump to the pros. Now, the first thing is the timing. Now, it was stated that this event was meant to start for 8 p.m., that Asakes comes in to perform 8 p.m. Doors open 6:30 p.m., which they stuck to, but 8 p.m. Asakes was nowhere to be found. Now, they had some special, what they call them, special acts, special performers that came to the stage. They did a fantastic job. They played old-time bangers, new-time bangers, Rema bangers, but the main person we meant to see, I came to see, was Asakes, and he wasn't there for 8 p.m. Later along the line, I got to hear some back-end stories as to why he couldn't start by 8 p.m. and they extended his timing to 11:20. So he finished 11:20 actually. Now the O2 has a license to finish performers, shows, performances for 11 p.m. But he was extended. He didn't pay any extra money. I'll tell you the backstory at the end of this video. He finished 11:20 p.m. Now, the first red flag was timing. They did not stick to time. Once again, I'm not castigating the person of Asakes. It's just things need to be changed and things need to be done better. I'll come to number two very soon, but the timing was the major red flag. All right, so number two, energy. Now, left to me, arguably Asakes is the second best Nigerian stage performer, second to Burna Boy. But there was just something off yesterday with his energy. Like when he entered and the cameras were on him, you could see he wasn't smiling. He was looking quite sad. I later found out from one of my sources why he was like that, but he wasn't 100%. Like he had, you could tell something was going on. Now, there's this video I'm going to post, which you see now when he was in Manchester. Asakes' energy is always contagious. Like he always gives his 100% when he comes on stage. But yesterday, he was not there. He wasn't there. It took quite a while for him to get his energy back. But he wasn't just there. Like you could tell there is something really going on. He got his groove, he got his vibes back, but later on he slipped back to his low energy, which I now understand the reason why it was like that. But energy-wise, Asakes wasn't there. He wasn't giving 100% energy. In fact, he was even giving 50% energy. But I know the reason why at the end of the day. Find out at the end of this video. Number three, there's this stuff Asakes is now doing where he is, I think, becoming a DJ. He referenced when his Lungu album came out, you could see he did something on YouTube, which was very creative. I loved it. However, with all due respect, Asake, I did not pay to see you DJ. I paid to see you perform. What you did yesterday, when you first came on stage, you were too much close to that DJ. Like, you were doing a lot of DJism, if there's any word like that, I don't know. But you are doing quite a number of things on DJ stand, which was not what I paid to see. He did that quite a while, and you could tell with the audience that they're not really feeling it like that. Like, wanted to see your energy on the stage, wanted to see you dance. We love your dance, we love your vibes, we love your voice, we love your geniusness, forgive my English, in the music sector. We didn't see that. We saw you trying to evolve to being a DJ, which technically wasn't it. So that one there was a con, was a no. And my piece of advice is, even if you want to do it, just do it for like what, 2 minutes is even too much, a minute, and just let, like yesterday, he brought out what's his name, Idris Elba. We know Idris Elba as a DJ. Idris Elba was there, but I don't even know the reason why Idris Elba was there, because he didn't really DJ. He didn't really scratch that disc. So he was just there to hype the crowd. His mic wasn't working. He had to leave. Like, a whole lot of disorganization was going on in the background, which at the end of the day wasn't excellence. He wasn't giving excellence. So that one there, Asake, next time, I know I will still, that's a crazy thing, because if he comes back to London, I'll still pay for his show. I'll still come for his concert. But if he could just limit that DJ kind of thing he's doing now and just focus on his performance, I think he will have a more excellent show next time. So number 3 is that DJ thing he was doing. It wasn't good. So yeah, the next con is the sequence of songs he played. Like, you expected him to start with his old album and gradually move to his latest album. In fact, you even expect him to finish his concert with the fan favorite, which is Fuji Vibes. My man didn't do that. So what Asake did was, he started, in fact, when he came, he started with his latest album, moved to old album, back to new album, and it was just, the whole thing was not really organized like that. To the fan favorite song, you expect him to finish the concert with the fan favorite, the Fuji Vibes. Now, Asake brought in Fuji Vibes mid part of the concert. I don't know, maybe he doesn't know Fuji Vibes is fan favorite. Anyways, he brings it in, and the major part of that Fuji Vibes song track, where we all love, where he does his leg walks, his dance moves and all, he didn't even give us 100% of that. Like, midway of that song, where that part was coming in, Asake has an issue. He has an issue with his shoelace. Now, you see him struggling with his shoelace, and from there, he disappears off stage. He goes off stage, and he now leaves his dancers to give us that part of dance. Now, it wasn't his fault. He had an issue with his lace. But after that, I was just like, rah. Like, this was what I came to see. I've seen in TV, I've seen in other concerts he's done in America, in different places, but I came to London to see you. do that dance. So Asake, if you see this video, you owe me a ticket. Actually, you do owe me a ticket to see another performance where you do the Fuji dance, proper dance, and I'm satisfied. But that was one of the cons I didn't really like. And yeah, it wasn't your fault, Asake, but I expected you to make it up in a later part of the concert, which it never came back. Actually, you finished the concert with Joha, which is an old fan favorite, and to me, it's still a nice song. Don't get me wrong, it's evergreen. Joha is an evergreen song, but that was not what I was expecting you to end the concert with. So that was another con. The sequence of songs wasn't giving excellence. It wasn't really giving proper management and selection. And I hope in your next concert you look into that and you give the people what they came to see or what they came for. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try to summarize this as quickly as I can. Now, the other cons I got from the concert was when he left. Asake left without saying goodbye. He left without saying, oh, bye London, I'll see you next time, no farewell. He just left when Joha was being played, and he left his dancers to conclude the concert. Again, that is not giving excellence, and I've always known Asake as an excellent performer. I don't know what happened. Maybe there was a lingering effect of his last concert last year where they switched off the lights by 11 p.m. midway of his performance. They switched on the lights and turned off the sound. I don't know if that was the reason why, but he didn't finish the concert well. Like, he just disappeared and jumped off stage. There was another part of the concert actually where I think that was the part where one of the, I won't mention it, one of the special acts came to perform, and after that he started singing a song and he was singing off key. But this is where the brilliance of Asake came into play. Now, he was singing off key, but he noticed that he was singing off key. He paused singing, then he allowed the background music to play, and that's when they said, blow your trumpet, go. And he just he turned a bad situation into something very positive. And from that, I'm going to speak on the pros of the concert. I've given enough cons, now let's switch to the pros. All right, cool. So the pros. Now, the guest performance that came, chef kiss. So Asake brought in Stormzy, which I've never seen perform on stage before. He brought in Stormzy, beautiful. He brought in someone that I felt he could not pull off bringing, which was Wizkid. However, I was not surprised because prior to that, I think 2 days ago, I saw him and Wizkid in London performing. So I put 2 and 2 together. I was like, yeah, he brought in Wizkid to that, like a club kind of setting, but he brought in Wizkid to the O2. Brilliant. I love that. Like, that showed a level of commanding Afrobeats that we all know Asake has. He brought in Wizkid. Wizkid was just there for not even up to a minute, but his presence brought life to the crowd, brought life to the concert, and that was beautiful. Now, the stage props. Now, Asake is a genius when it comes to props. He pays attention to detail and he always makes sure that it makes his stage colorful and beautiful. Now, apart from the burner that I said wasn't working, one of the cons, he had other burners that were not bringing out flames but bringing out other stuffs. His dancers well lit, his stage. He had this thing that had street signs of Lagos State, which made me miss Lagos the more, like the CMS, Ikoyi, Adeniji Close, Ikorodu, quite a number of street signs which I really felt brought in the African vibe of his art to the stage. The graffitis on the wall, his artists, what they wore, it was brilliant. Another chef kiss for that. Like, Asake is a genius when it comes to stage art, and that was another pro of the concert. Another thing I loved about the concert, which was a pro, was his aerial performance. There was just something that transfused with Travis Scott to Asake yesterday when he did that. I don't really know what it was, but that aerial performance he had was fantastic. Like, 10 over 10. That was beautiful. Now, there were two standing stages actually. One was, I think it was called the gold standing, and the other one was the regular standing. Now, the gold standing was closer to the stage. In fact, was where the stage was, where Asake was performing. This regular standing was where the DJs, remember in the beginning, we showed videos of where the DJ special guests were performing. That one was a regular standing. It had another stage there. So Asake runs from the stage where the gold standing is through the security pass. He runs to where the regular standing is, the stage of the regular standing is. Then he gets the engineers to harness the ropes and all on him, where he now made the grand ascent to have the aerial performance. That was excellent. Like, Asake, hats off to you for thinking of doing that. That was brilliant. Like, that brought life, and it made me forgive quite a number of things you did wrong in your concert, but that was really, really brilliant. I loved it. Another pro is related to the stages thing too. So remember I said there was a gold stand which was literally in front of the stage where Asake was performing, and there was a second stand, regular stand, where the previous DJ's booth was. Now Asake also made sure that he performed on that regular stand stage, which was beautiful. Like, he didn't forget the fans that were there that paid for that, and it was really nice. He did that after the aerial view thing, and yeah, that was where the concert concluded towards the end. Now let's speak about the end. How did the concert end? So yes, the end. Asake goes back from the regular stand stage to the gold stand stage. Let me break it down like that, yeah? You get. So Asake goes back to the gold stand stage where he plays Joha. You see Asake doing the Joha dance, like you're vibing to it. I had no idea that this man was already plotting his exit strategy. Without saying goodbye London, I love you London, see you next time, or giving us something to look for in his next return to London. Asake just disappears. Like, this was the last clip of me seeing Asake in the Joha dance. Afterwards, his dancers then come up, do the Joha dance, they hold their hands together, and they just dun dun dun, just end. No confettis being dropped down from the sky of the O2. Nothing like that. It just ends, and everybody's just walking back, walking down, walking out the station. And in my mind, I'm like, we paid good money for this Asake. I mean, there were two options: either go see Asake or go see Anthony Joshua, and what's his name, Dubois or something like that, which was quite hard to see. I'm glad I went to Asake because I'm an AJ fan, and seeing AJ being beaten like that yesterday was heartbreaking, like being knocked off. But that's story for another day. Now, what did I hear happen backstage? Now, prior to this event, and I think this is the reason why things didn't really go well for Asake in how he performed to my expectations and standards. Now, backstage, I heard there were a lot of disagreements, there were a lot of quarrels that happened. Now, Asake had a roadmap and had a vision of how he wanted the concert to go. From the organizers to some of the stage performers and some other things, they switched and changed a lot of things, which was not what Asake wanted. And here you say, but he's the boss, his word is final. It doesn't really happen like that, especially in London. A lot of things happened that were not aligning with what his vision was, and that was why he came on stage not really happy. I heard this from a trusted source, actually. Number two, he left because last year when he had his concert, I didn't go for that, I was in Zanzibar, as I said. He got stopped 11 p.m. at the dot. Now, this time around, they gave him a grace of 11 till 11:20. Now, I heard for every minute you spend after 11 o'clock in the O2, you get to pay a certain amount. But they did Christmas for him this time around, because I think he made a complaint of the last time he was here, which was also a sold out. Mind you, this concert Asakes did was his second sold out concert at the O2. Brilliant. Like, Asakes is definitely a genius when it comes to music and all, but that was why he left. He didn't want that to happen again, and he in quotes, he didn't really want that embarrassment of, oh, I'm still on stage and the lights just come up and my sound or my music or my mic is caught. So he didn't want that, I heard, and that's why he left. So my ratings for the concert, drum rolls. So I'm going to rate this concert a 7.5 over 10. And the reason, obviously, is the reasons that I've mentioned in this video, the pros and the cons and all. But I expected better. I hope his next concert in the UK would be a 10 over 10. By God's grace, inshallah, I'll be there. But till then, share this video and I'll see you later.